Will we ever see Sha'Carri win another individual gold medal? I don't see it with Julian Alfred right now. I don't see anybody beating her over 100 meters. It's looking spooky.
I haven't seen that Christian Coleman since his return to the sport. 976, world champion, a world record holder in the 60. I haven't seen that level of athlete over the past 3-4 seasons or so since he's returned. I don't know if we're going to see it come back. They're in 5th place by about 5 meters. And when I saw them hand the baton to Quincy, I was like, there is no shot that he even makes this close. Like, this is a gap even too wide for Quincy Wilson to shrink. And I was wrong. Welcome back. Another episode, Track World News Podcast. I'm your host, Colin Waitsman, here with our esteemed co-host, Mr. Noah Williams. Noah, how you doing today, brother?
Hey, blessed and highly favored, brother. Another day, another exciting weekend of track and field. We got a lot of exciting things to get into, man. I'm feeling great, brother. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome, doing great. Had a good weekend, like you said, great weekend of track and field. I was out here at Penn Relays for much of the weekend. In typical Penn Relays fashion, you got to have a little bit of rain. Like, I don't think there's ever been a Penn Relays without rain. And so the first 2 days were great. Last day, not so much. But it's fun. It's always cool to go out there. The environment is unlike anything that I've ever seen. And it's just it's a lot of fun, especially like I live here. So like everyone's like, oh, I traveled like 8 hours. Like I flew here. I did this. I'm like, I rolled out of bed 10 minutes ago and rode my bike here. Like it's great. It's nice to see people love the sport of track and field here. And where you call home. So it's a good time.
Absolutely, bro. I think Penn Relays is the most historic track meet, I guess, we have in the States. It's definitely a big event every year, something to look forward to that people all around the world come to. So, I mean, for you to have that luxury to be right down the street, I guess that's a bit of a flex this morning.
Oh yeah, no, it's good. Like I can, I was filming some videos and doing some stuff, like with Bullis. If you had watched that video, if you hadn't, right when you finish this podcast, go watch that video. And like I was talking to Quincy, and he was like, yo, like where you at? Or like, how far are you from here? I'm like, hey, you see that building right over there? I'm like, that's where I live. He's like, wait, for real? I'm like, yeah, like I'm not far. Like, this is really easy, for me to get here. She's like, oh shoot, like that's crazy. I'm like, yeah, no, it's nice. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, man. You ever get to run at Penn Relays?
Yeah, I did, bro. I think it was my freshman year of high school or maybe sophomore year of high school. My high school brought me. And I think it's a place that every athlete should go to, every track and field athlete. If your coaches don't push you to go there, I think you should kind of really like put in the word for yourself and for your team to go to Penn Relays and then just experience that kind of love. And you feel a little bit of the rivalries. You'll feel a little bit of like the hometown pride. And you get to watch track and field at a lot of different levels. High school, you get even the elderly are running. It's just a really, really dope event. For people to come together and just appreciate track and watch track and field. And that stadium is incredible. Like the vibes are great. I still remember getting some jerk chicken at a side vendor at the Penn Relays. I still have my Penn Relays t-shirt, and this is from 2015, So like I said, it was an incredible experience. It's something that made me fall in love with the sport even more. And any kid that loves track and field, I recommend that you go to Penn Relays, whether to watch or to compete in. That's how I feel.
Oh yeah, no, it's awesome. It's something where, I mean, I'm seeing all the TikToks of kids now because like I'm in Philly, so I'm seeing all the people showing like the TikToks, and it's just like people like dancing, like having a good time, just like waiting for their things. Kids doing backflips. It's also just absolute mayhem. Like there's always because there's a 25 heat 4x4 or 25 racers in one heat of a 4x4. How do you have 25 people? Look at the video, bro. It is insane. They're like literally packed like sardines trying to do 25 teams in one heat of the 4x4. Apparently, they messed up and they combined 2 or 3 heats into one. And like that's just like you have people running in the wrong lanes. Like you're not even allowed to use blocks if you're not in the final. It's like it's crazy, but it's a lot of fun, like you said. And the Jamaican fans like show up, and even if you're not in a heat like with any of them running, like it's still pretty crazy. I remember when I was racing, I was going up against a team from Trinidad and Tobago. They didn't make the final, but they were like one of the first teams out. And like I'm the second leg, and I'm asking like this one dude, I'm like people are like talking around, like, oh, what do you run? Like, what do you run? What do you do? And he's like I don't run track. I'm like, oh, okay, man. And then I've never, like, I got left in the blocks, bro. Like, it was crazy. Like, I'm like, yo, this man lied like crap, man. You definitely ran track before, but nah, it's a fun meet. It's a lot of good stuff, bro.
Yeah, whole time low key was Dream Richards.
Yeah, that might have been Dream. It might have been Dream, like the whole time. Like, one thing I do kind of miss though was like the pro scene and the college scene really isn't like that anymore. Like it used to be, like USA versus the world. Like Usain Bolt was showing up here, Tyson Gay was showing up here, Justin Gatlin was showing up here. Like it used to be like really big for those things, and now like it's massive for high schoolers. Like you'll see the best high school teams in the country like show up here, but I kind of miss that USA versus the world, or I mean we'll see Houston here and Texas A&M we're here, but it would be nice to see a little bit more packed out, you know what I mean?
I feel that, bro. That's actually something I didn't think about. When I was the last time I was there, they had it was USA versus the world, and Asafa Powell was there, Johan Blake was there, it was Ryan Bailey at the time, Tyson was there. It was, I think Gatlin ran as well. Like that was an incredible thing to watch as a young fan. It really gave me something to really, I don't know, marvel at, I guess. And the fact that they took that away, I know. I think the biggest college headliner there was probably Texas A&M, right?
Yeah. Texas A&M was there. Houston, they were there, and TCU. I guess those were kind of like the biggest. South Florida, I mean, they have a good team right now, but those are kind of like the biggest ones. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, but looking at the performances from somebody that wasn't there, I seen a 306 and a 305 pop off of my screen. As I recall, my University of Akron team won conference in 312. That's a Division I collegiate 4x4 winning in 312. And for them kids to run 306 and 305, I mean, what was it like to be there, bro?
Man, it is insane. I mean, Bullis and I guess it was Kingston College, going head to head, and I'll take it back, flash back to last year I was watching them race, and Bullis really wanted to be the first team in, at that point, 19 years to win the 4x4 at Penn Relays. It's a high school team, US high school team, and they didn't. There was some pushing and shoving, at people had fallen in front of them. It didn't work out, and then this year, so I reached out. Luckily, like Coach Lee and I, like we were, I wouldn't say like we're close. Like if I message him, he'll message me back. Like we're close. And I reached out like, yo, like, can we film some practices and stuff? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, you can do it, like, right at the Penn Relays the night before. So I got to see them practice and warm up and do all that. And like they train, and the way that team is orchestrated is almost exactly like a college team. I mean, they're running times that are going to get that would do well at a national level meet. Like they're like Bullis High School, the Bullis School is a college program. Like they have college level talents right there, and same with other schools there too. Like Archbishop Carroll there, with Jake, they got some crazy times. Like IMG, they got great. Like there's some of these high schools that they're running college times, and the way that they go through it is also very much like college-esque. Like one thing that I appreciated a lot as well, from a media perspective, of before the high school, like before they did like the media and talk to us, like Coach Lee is talking to the athletes. I'm sure like just letting them know, like, hey, once again, like, don't say anything that you don't mean to say, like slow thing. I'm sure some media coaching, which like those are things that you need to do. Like most high schoolers aren't going through that. I mean, had you done any media training? I'm sure, like, what, maybe till college or whatever. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I hadn't done media training until I went professional. I was just a little asshole in high school. Somebody asked me a question, I'd probably say the cockiest thing on my mind that I possibly could. But those kids are running and they have the spotlight on them. So the fact that they are media trained is important, and that's a good thing. I think more kids should probably do that, especially in the era that we're in. We interview people, you interview people, you're at the meet interviewing people. So, for those kids to be ready in that sense, in a professional way, I think that's dope. I know Quincy has to be almost fed up with the media at this point.
Oh yeah, no. Speaking about that, there was this one video that I saw of him right after he had split. And I'll get into the race and all that in a second, but like right after the 4x4, where he's clearly like tired as hell, doesn't want to talk to anyone. And there are kids, even like meet officials and people that work at the Penn Relays and coaches that are like running up to him to take a selfie when not asking to take a selfie, not like just going up. He's clearly not paying attention because he's tired and like just taking pictures with them. And I was just like, this is crazy. Of like, imagine if you were to be doing this to any other top level athlete in the world, because he's not just one of the best high school athletes. He's like one of the best runners in the world. And so, imagine if you were trying to do this to a Noah Lyles, like if he was clearly just tired out of his mind and not wanting to talk to anyone, you're just running up, taking selfies, like, and you're an official, like you should know better. Like you shouldn't be doing all this. It's just like crazy, but it shows just the, like how big he is as a name, that people are doing these things. Like he had security guards with him, like during warm-ups and like post things. Like that's insane. Like he is, I haven't seen this level of celebrity in high school track before. Like even Sydney McLaughlin, I don't think she was at this level. Like this is, it's insane to see, man.
Yeah, it's a different era, bro, and obviously the fame that he has and the clout and the following that he has is warranted. He is the greatest thing we've seen in high school. I think it was Justin Robinson split a faster time in high school, which I thought was crazy. But for him to be splitting 43.9, obviously he's an Olympic gold medalist. The things he's accomplished warrant that level of hype and warrant that level of celebrity. So, with that being said, I really think and hope for him to be like the guy that takes track and field over the top. He's obviously still got the baby face, and he's like he's a face, he's a baby face, good guy, and he's a guy that we all want to root for. He's a guy we all want to support, and we all want him to win. And if he really takes this and has an incredible 12-year career, I think he can leave the sport in a better place that he found it in. Now, putting those expectations on him, from me, it's not necessarily a fair thing to do. But as somebody that's elder to him and in the sport now, I think he's a guy that we kind of need to succeed and do well, for us to go to that next level, to propel us to that next level. So, I'm a big Quincy Wilson fan. Everything he does, I think it's awesome. I think it's dope. So, I'm just rooting for him.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, man. Like it's impressive, and I think it can be one of those people where, I mean, he's transcending. He has the ability to transcend through track and field. I mean, people across the sports world are knowing about this kid who's 17 still. Like he's still a junior in high school. Like this man hasn't been to a prom yet. Like he's still got his junior prom coming up probably in a couple weeks. Like that's like, it's insane when you think about like he's one of the names. We were talking about him when he was in 8th grade, like when he was in 7th grade, of like what type of things that we're doing. Like that's not normal, really. It's just he's been on the top for such a long time, and so it's very impressive. And the now to get into that race of just like, were you able to catch much of I know I didn't know if you saw any clips or anything, but okay. So for those that hadn't been able to catch the 4x4. So unfortunately, they lost one of their legs. I think it was Alex or Connor in the prelim. Like he went down with a hamstring, unfortunately, so he wasn't able to finish. He was one of their top guys as well. So they had to pull in a new guy to go through and run. But just like the depth of that team to be able to have a substitute and still be able to break a 40-year-old national record, like that is incredible. And so they go through and they're fairly far behind the pack. They're in 5th place by about 5 meters. Like, no exaggeration. 5th place by 5 meters. There's the top 3 people, and then there's the fourth, then there's a gap, and then there's the fourth team, and then there's a little bit more of a gap, and then there's Bullis. And when I saw them hand the baton to Quincy, I was like, there is no shot, because the media zone is right around the corner. And I'm like, there's no shot that he even makes this close. Like, this is a gap even too wide for Quincy Wilson to shrink. And I was wrong. And he just goes through and like picks off the first guy, second guy, third guy. Now it's going around the third corner, and you hear the crowd going absolutely berserk. You hear the whoop, whoop, because like for a second, it looked like, oh man, he's going to do it. He's going to catch up to the first guy. Everyone's on their feet. Like the media, like everyone went like belly to the fence. Like everyone's looking at what's going on. And then Kingston College, though, was able to just hold off and hold him off and be able to get the win in 305. And shout out to them. I mean, they had one of their top runners that was out as well. And to win again, like for the 4th straight year, just, I mean, the dominance that they've had, you know, to go through and win 4 years in a row, running 305s, like just incredible program for what they got there in Kingston College. But I was talking to Coach Jolie after. He's like, we got 364 days to run it back. Apparently half their relays coming back, including Quincy. So they got 2 more. They got to find 2 more people to go through. So I'll be here same time next year. We'll see if they're able to take them out next season. But overall, it was impressive. Just like really great competition, and you know, a lot of fun to watch.
For sure, man. Shout out to everybody at the Penn Relays, man. That's incredible stuff, bro. I would have loved to be there for sure.
It's good. It's a lot of fun. They put on a good show. So yeah, if you can ever make it out to Penn Relays, whether it's as a fan or especially as an athlete, like ask your coach. Keep it, like, it is worth it. It is so much fun. It is one of those experiences that you do not want to miss out on. So shout out. But cool. I guess to transition from Penn Relays, I know, Noah, you had some standout performances that you had seen as well, where you wanted to take us here.
Yeah, bro. It was, so if you guys don't know, it was a Diamond League meet out in China. It's Xiamen or Xiamen, I don't know how to pronounce it, but there were some incredible things going on over the weekend, and some narratives I think that were kind of drawn out a little bit, and I think none bigger than Anavia Battle. If you guys have been watching the show, I think you'll know that I've been a big Anavia Battle supporter. I've been going to bat for Anavia Battle for a while now, ever since her run in Tokyo in 2021. I just think she's a special athlete. But she went out to China and she beat Shericka Jackson in the 200 meters, running 22:41. I don't want to say that's everything right now because it's early season meet, but that is something to me. That is something to me. She's undefeated on the season. I believe she's ran sub 11 already in the 100. So for her to continue this level of dominance, I guess I would say dominance, this early in the season is something to behold. And the fact that she beat somebody as talented and special and legendary as Shericka Jackson, I think it says 2 things. I think it says, for one, Anavia is ready. She's in shape, and she's one of the best athletes in the world. And for 2, Shericka's slipping a little bit. And I think it's okay to say that. You know, it's early, and could be a lot of reasons why. Maybe she's loaded, but everybody's loaded. We've seen her lose to Julian Alfred over 300, you know, and I think we all would have favored Shericka in 300 meters over Julian Alfred. So that's 2 athletes that we've seen her lose to this early in the year. And it might be another one that I might be missing, but just from this weekend, man, I thought that was the most telling event that I seen, was that women's 200 out there in China, man. It's crazy stuff going on, man. What did you think? Did you get a chance to see that race?
Yeah, I wasn't able to see that exact one, but I mean, yeah. I mean, I think Anavia Battle is putting together a impressive resume this early in the season. I mean, she's number 1 in the world right now in the 100 with, what is it, a 1098. So like impressive there. And then, you know, she's number 8 in the world in the 200 and beating, you know, Shericka Jackson there as well. So it's she's showing that she can do both and be able to, dominate on kind of both ends of the spectrum here. And so I think impressive, like an impressive start of the season for her, and where she's going. I mean, to answer your question though, like with Shericka Jackson, I mean, like, yeah, like, I mean, I think it's like, is it hitting the panic button like where the season's over? I wouldn't say that, but I definitely would say that she's not coming into this season for me as one of the top people that I'm like, can she win a medal? Sure. Like, of course, like Shericka Jackson could win a medal, but I'm not putting her like in my top 3 right now. Like, I haven't seen anything that would warrant it, Like, I mean, you've lost to you lost to Anavia Battle here. You lose to Julian Alfred as well. And then the only other win that you had outside of that was an outdoor 60 meters in the beginning of March. I don't know. Like, I'm just I'm not sold right now on it. And I mean, I think she's 29, 30, something like that. So it's like, it's not, not completely out of your prime, but you're definitely not going to be getting a whole lot. You're not probably going to be getting a ton faster right now. Like, this is the second half of the second half of the prime or second half of the career right now. So I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous about like Shericka. Like, I don't know if we're going to see it. But I guess time will tell.
There's a few athletes that I'm a little bit worried about. Obviously, it's early, and I think somebody as seasoned as Shericka, she will be in contention when it comes time for Worlds, and Worlds is all the way in September this year. So it is a long season, so we can't get too excited about these early. It's April. We can't get. Is it May? Is April? Is May?
It's 27th. Yeah.
Yeah, it's April 27th. Okay, I gotta check my phone.
Yeah.
But it's not something to get too excited about because Shericka is a veteran in the sport, but I can't help but see Gabby Thomas running lights out right now. Favor Ofili just ran sub 11 yesterday, Nigerian girl. Obviously, Jason Shears, we're still yet to see what she's going to do. Julian Alfred, Anavia Battle. It makes 2 question marks for me. Where is Shericka going to finish, and where is Sha'Carri going to finish? And really, when is Sha'Carri going to open up? I'm really excited to see. I've seen everybody else from her training group compete, from Christian Coleman to TT Terry to Tania Marshall, Brendan Stewart. Like, I've seen everybody. I believe I've seen everybody from that group compete, but Sha'Carri. So maybe she's waiting until Prefontaine. Maybe she's nursing an injury. Maybe she's working on something in training. But there's definitely question marks out there because the season started, and whether you're Noah Lyles running 400 meters to get your fitness, or Kenny Bednarik going to Grand Slam and winning in incredible times, people are on the track. And, I'm definitely concerned and curious to know what's going on with Sha'Carri.
Yeah,
a lot of things there.
I agree. Yeah, like there's another, I guess, little mini soapbox for me of like one thing that pisses me off a little bit about track and field and some athletes like within it of that in football, when and where a team is going to play. Like right now, all of the teams that the Jets are going to play next year. Like the teams came out, the schedule is going to release in the next, I think couple like days or weeks. It's, relatively soon. Like you're going to know who the Jets are playing in January, in May, like May of this year. So it's you get that schedule out. In track and field, that's not the case. Like unless an athlete decides to let you know where they're going to run, there's nothing that's dictating that we're going to have that knowledge. And that's exclusive to the professional level, because I knew where you were going to run when you were at LSU because it was on your calendar. Like I know, I'm like, all right, so Noah's going to run at Texas Relays because it's been on that calendar for the last 3 months, like he's going to run here because it's like we knew that stuff. And so I had the ability to understand like so if I see, LSU is scheduled to run at Texas Relays, Noah didn't run at Texas Relays, there's an injury of it. Like that's what, there's something because you were scheduled to do it and you didn't do it. Versus in the professional scene, I've got no idea where Sha'Carri's running. Like, I have no idea where a Thing Mo is running. Like, I have no idea where any of these athletes that aren't a part of the Grand Slam are running. And that's extremely frustrating because as a fan, I have no idea where things are going to happen until, a media source like myself, breaks it because we looked at heat sheets and figured out where they were going to be. Or I have no idea if you're injured and, hey, there's a reason that you're not coming out. And so it's frustrating with that. And so, yeah, like I got no clue if it's the strategic thing or if it's an injury thing, but I definitely would have some question marks on like, when are we gonna see you on the track? Like you're one of the most prolific names in the sport right now, and we don't really know. It's annoying, it's frustrating, and I wish that changed about track and field personally.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. I would definitely second that 10 times out of 10. But with Sha'Carri, this was a conversation that we had at training. And it's something that I texted you about, and it's something I want to just address on the pod. Will we ever see Sha'Carri win another individual gold medal?
Let me hear what you think. Let me hear what you think, man.
I love Sha'Carri, bro. She went to LSU. I went to LSU. We trained in close quarters. I've been in rooms with Sha'Carri. She's a great girl. Cool, super cool, funny. But I don't see it with Julian Alfred right now. I don't see anybody beating her over 100 meters and damn near over 200 meters. It's looking spooky. And Sha'Carri's still young. She's like 24, 25 years old. Things could change. But the way that Julian runs, the way she dominates, the way she shows up consistently, I don't see anybody really of this generation knocking her off. It's got to be an injury. It's got to be something weird like that. Maybe I'm crazy, but that's the way I feel.
Yeah, no, that's an insane take. Like that's crazy. Never win a medal again. That's crazy. Or never win a gold. Never winning a gold again. Yes, Julian Alfred is she is on an insane level right now. And one thing that I really appreciate about Julian Alfred is the amount that she competes. She competes in indoors. She shows up. If there's a race, she gonna race it. Like that's something that I respect a whole hell of a lot about Julian Alfred. Like she is not scared to line up. She's going to do it. And so you get a really good idea about how like where Julian Alfred's fitness is 100% because you're seeing it almost every single weekend. She's been this way since she was at Texas. This isn't new. Like she ran like her and Abby Steiner. I think like that one year like ran like damn near 80 races and then still were going throughout the rest of the season. Like she's a workhorse. But Sha'Carri has that special talent that I can't say she's never like on a race, anything can happen, man. Like any given Sunday, somebody can win. Like, and she's Julian Alfred, and the distance between the talent of Julian Alfred and Sha'Carri Richardson isn't large enough for me to say that you ain't never gonna beat her like ever again. Like, I think they're close enough. And on like if Sha'Carri gets a good start, like I know that Julian's a very powerful runner and Sha'Carri's start isn't the best of all of it, but if she can get a strong start, we saw it at the World Championships in 2023, right? Where she's on that outside lane. It can get to that position where it's hard to catch up to her if she's able to get out strong. I just think to count her out at 24, 25 when we have another one or two more Olympics and a whole bunch of more world championships in between, like to say never, that seems like a big stretch to me.
Maybe it's a stretch, but did you see when you said if she gets a good start?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. I don't like that there has to be a hypothetical in order for her to get a win. If she goes out there and runs her race, she still might not win. She has to get an incredible start to go win. You feel what I'm saying? Where I'm going with that? And to refer back to, like I said, we had this conversation in that training during the week, and somebody had addressed like, "Hey, do y'all remember watching the semifinal in Paris?" I was like, no, not for real. It's like Julian broke Sha'Carri that day, and I had to watch back. He's like, watch her body language, look at her eyes before the final. She was already beat. I'm like, damn, it's an interesting take. And I can kind of see where I'm not going to name drop the person that said it. But I can kind of see it in a way that Julian is the most dominant at this point. This is going to be her generation. This is going to be her era. Despite the fact that I think that Sha'Carri might be naturally a bit more talented than Julian. There's something there. Sha'Carri's got that pop. She's got the aura. She's got all of that. And she's got the look. But she produces. Julian produces every time. Every time she gets on track, she produces well. She does things that we don't even expect her to do. She'll go and run a 4x4 and split 50 point. Or 40. Didn't she split 49, Colin?
She got range. Like she has the most of all track runners right now. Track, especially on the women's side. I'll stick on the women's side, especially. I would say she has the most range between her and Gabby. And I would say that Julian has more range because I think her 100 is more dominant than Gabby's 100, but then Gabby's 400 is more dominant than Julian's 400. But I would say it's between those two for who has the most range right now.
Absolutely, bro. Like she does things that we wouldn't expect somebody of her stature, her build to do. And then she goes and jogs at 21.88. That was a coast for her. She was not pressing. So I think that moving forward, this is going to be Julian Alfred's generation, and it's her spot to take for sure.
I find it difficult for me to go through and saying all that. I'm looking at I was like, hey, let me go through and take a look head to head right now. So Julian Alfred is 4-3 against Sha'Carri head to head in the 100. So and she obviously won the most recent one, or I guess it wasn't the most recent one. The Olympics. There were two other races, and they split on that. But I mean, so she wins the Olympics in 24, but then the year before, Sha'Carri wins the World Championships and blows the doors off of Julian Alfred. Like Julian came in 5th, like that race, and so like it's not like she's that far. That was 2 seasons ago. That wasn't that long ago, and they're both still in their top prime right now. Does Julian have it in the 200? Like I would pick Julian to win a 200 over Sha'Carri more times than not. I would say if they were to race 10 times, I'd say Julian Alfred wins probably at least 8 of those times. Like I think that she is much better in the 200, but in the 100, like I think that it's a close race. I don't think she's that far. And to say she's not going to win it ever. So are you saying that she can't show? Are you saying that there's 2 ways I can see it of where you're going? Is it that, are you saying Julian Alfred is just that much faster than Sha'Carri? Or are you saying that Julian is going to show up in those big moments more than Sha'Carri is going to show up in those big moments?
I think Julian Alfred, I'm sorry to cut you off, bro, but
I was done.
I think Julian Alfred is a consistent athlete. I think I kind of have a better idea of what I'm going to get from Julian meet to meet to meet, championship to championship to championship. Sha'Carri has a lot of outlying things about her that are very polarizing. That's why she is in commercials and does these things because she's such a polarizing figure. But at that same breath, it's so unpredictable what you're going to get with her hairstyle down to her performance. You even said it. If Sha'Carri gets a good start, I don't have to worry about if Julian is going to get a good start or not because I've seen her so many times run so consistently. Early season, mid-season, primetime season, late in the season. I've seen these from Julian consistently now. I'll say over the last 2 seasons, even when she was at Texas. I've seen a lot of consistency from Julian. And I will admit, I think that Sha'Carri has more top-end talent. She's probably the most talented 100-meter runner in the world right now. But there's just so much inconsistency. There's so many factors that go in. Like, I don't know, man. There's a lot of I guess I'd say theatrics that go into Sha'Carri's performances, and I don't see that as much with Julian. She's more about business.
Yeah, no, so I'll give you that. Like I would say, like what you had mentioned, it's like, hey, if you're thinking, hey, number like 1 to 10, 1 being the worst performance of all time, 10 being the best performance of all time, you're gonna be for any Julian Alfred race, you're gonna get anywhere from an 8 like 9, 10. Like you're going to be in that range. You're never going to get a 6 type of race from Julian Alfred. But you're probably not going to get a 10 out of 10 all the time. But you know you're going to get an 8. You know it. Bare minimum. You know you're going to get an 8 out of 10. With Sha'Carri, she can give you a 10 out of 10 performance. And she has for sure, but she can also give you a 5 out of 10 performance or whatever it is. I think
a 0. She can give you a 0 out of 10.
Yeah.
No shade, no smut. She can give you 0 out of 10 performance.
Yeah, I think back to the 2022 USAs where she didn't even get out. She got out of the semis or round 1, whatever it was. It was one of those. I couldn't remember which round she had gotten out of, but when she was knocked out early, and we saw pre, and now as she's grown, as she's gotten older and more experienced, the variance I think has shrunk a little bit. I don't think she's as crazy now of top end and completely lower end, but I think the variance you'll see from her is better. She's getting a little bit more consistent, but not to the level that Julian Alfred is. And I think that goes to the amount of like how consistently you're running. Like I don't think it's any coincidence that the runners that are running some of the most right now are some of the more consistent athletes right now. I mean, Gabby has run a whole lot. She's one of the more consistent athletes right now. Simbine on the men's side, like he's running extraordinarily consistent because he's been running all the time. Like we're seeing those things, and it's Sha'Carri is not one of the athletes right now that's running as consistently, whether it's an injury or whatever it may be. So I'd like to see a little bit more consistently as a fan and as a, someone that likes to watch her run, but I can see where you're going for, but to say never again, I can't jump on that. I can't jump on that.
Hey man, I wear my media cap, bro. You gotta play it, I gotta play it. But I just think it's really interesting, bro. And kind of to refer back to what I was speaking on with Quincy and how he has an opportunity to really spearhead the sport and take it to a level that it hasn't been. Sha'Carri has a better opportunity than everybody, really, with the fame that she has, with the name that she has, being mentioned in Drake songs and Kanye West music videos. She has an opportunity to really take it to another level, but she doesn't show face when she could.
Yeah. Huh? She doesn't want to, I think. Clear. Like Sha'Carri, so sorry to cut you off as well. She had, I'd say her peak popularity was in 2021, 2022, like going into that Olympics right before she got suspended. That was peak Sha'Carri, like of when everyone's talking about her. Not to say that was her athletic peak. I think she's had more athletic peaks as well, but like popularity, that was the peak. She was in the media a lot. She was doing those interviews. And she was talking, everyone was talking about her. And for one reason or another, and I can understand why she may not want to, hey, the media has probably, in her mind, has done her dirty at times. She doesn't talk to the track media like post meets. Like if she does, it'll be brief and she'll go. And you're allowed to do that. Like you don't have to talk to the media a whole lot. Sidney McLaughlin does the same. She doesn't talk to the media very much either. Like she's very much in their own world. But similar for both of them, like they both could have definitely been, and at one point, like the talk of the town, like one of the most popular people, but they decided that they didn't like that fame maybe is not where they want it to be. And she's still extraordinarily popular. Like I'm sure she gets stopped on the street all the time, but it's just because of the nature of her not being in the media as much and not racing as consistently. I think that Quincy right now, his trajectory is going higher, and just based on how much media attention like he's done, like he's doing podcasts, he's doing things like that. I think that it's going up. But Sha'Carri, I think she could have been the face of track and field, but it doesn't seem like she really wants to for one reason or another, and that's completely fine. Like you don't have to do it. Like, but that's how I kind of saw it.
Yeah, that's a very fair take. That's very fair for you to say that.
Yeah. But someone else, I mean, so you had mentioned concern that you had with potential for Shericka Jackson. Something that I'm getting concerned on, or an athlete concerned on. You had kind of mentioned it before the pod. Christian Coleman right now I mean, 10:18 in this previous race, ran 10:06. I mean, yes, it's earlier on in the season, 100% get it. But I haven't seen that Christian Coleman since his return to the sport, of where he will, like, 976 world champion, world record holder in the 60. I haven't seen that level of athlete over the past 4 seasons or so since he's returned. And I don't know if we're going to see it come back at this point, where he's been at the highest of highs, and we've seen him, lower of lows, I guess you could say. And even like his floor is still higher than most people's ceilings. I mean, we're saying he's not doing well, quote unquote, falling off, whatever you want to say. And he's still qualified for the Olympics in the 4x1. Like, he's still an Olympic qualifier, but he's not that guy that I think, where everyone thought, hey, this is the replacement of Bolt, because, he went from, he was that guy in 2016, 2017, 2018 of like, all right, like, we've got the next guy that's going to fill this spot in. He then was away from the sport for a few years. And then when he came back, he's not at that point that he was beforehand. And so I'm getting a little concerned with it. I don't know. Like, he didn't do indoors this year. First time ever that he hasn't done indoors. I mean, that entire training group doesn't do indoors at Star. I don't think any of them have ever ran an indoor meet since they started there. So I don't know. Like, I want to see him do well, and I want to see him dominate. I love watching Christian Coleman run and how he performs, but I don't know if we're getting that 2019 Christian Coleman anymore. I don't know if we're ever going to see it again.
Yeah, it's fair to say, bro. I think the lack thereof success he's had over the last few years, although he's been very successful, I don't think it's been what he's wanted. I think that's what caused the change in coaching and training groups. And like you said, he always runs indoor, but he didn't this year because that Star Athletics group, they just don't do indoors. So I'm just going to grant him a little bit of grace at this point, but it definitely is a concern because it's not only, you're not running as fast, you're getting beat by a lot of people at meets. I think he got 5th at that Diamond League meet.
I think so.
It's not something that I'm used to seeing from Christian Coleman. Whether it was 4th or 5th, let me just double check while I'm here. Yeah, 4th. Okay, so that's not something that we expect from Christian Coleman. Now, it is early, and he didn't run an indoor season, and he's probably adjusting to a new style of training. Could be loaded a little bit differently than he typically would. So the beautiful thing about this is everything that we're talking about right now is going to be we're going to watch it unfold in real time through the summer and ending in September. So, whether I like breaking things down, is it something, is it nothing, or is it everything? I saw that in an ESPN bit a couple of years ago, and I like looking at things like that. So I think that Christian not running too well at this point of the season, it's something. It's not everything. It's not nothing. It's definitely something. It's something to keep an eye on as a spectator and a person active in the sport. He's a guy that I really want to root for. He's a guy that I really want to win. He's quiet. He doesn't do too much. Pretty humble dude. And he's just a very entertaining runner to watch. So I want to see him do well, but I would say it's a little spooky.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. Like, I mean, he still had good times last year. I mean, he ran 9.8 and 9.8 the year before. He hadn't, gotten to that PR of the 9.76 that he had back in 2019, but he still ran some good times. But it seems like the timing of those times, like, it wasn't at the championship, and it's right now it's becoming almost like a thing of what, hey, he gets out great. Obviously, he's one of the best starters in the history of the sport, and then he's getting caught. And like, that's what happened at this previous Diamond League meet, where he got out well. He didn't get out as great as he normally does. He got out well, but then, like, by the 50, 60 meter mark, it's just like everyone started passing him. And it's, yes, you know that people are going to start catching up because of just historically where it's been. But it was crazy to see 4 people catching up and surpassing him. I mean, also in that race, I mean, one that is kind of, not to completely change the topic, but like, Letsile Tebogo, like, ran 10.2. Like, that was, this is the guy that just beat Noah Lyles in the Olympics not too long ago, and is, supposed to be the next guy to potentially break these world records and everything. And he ran a whole bunch of 400s and everything like that. He's running 10-2, but I don't seem to see many people talking about him, in that performance and whatever. So I don't know. It's I think, yeah, it's early in the season. There's 5 months until the world championship's going to happen. The next, like, Quincy's going to be a senior in high school by the time, that thing's going to happen. So it's just like, yes, there's a lot of time. And I would agree with you. I think it's something. I don't know. Yeah, it's not everything, but after I want to watch a couple more of these track meets going through, and let me see where you're at by the end of May. If we're still flirting with this like 10-second mark, all right, maybe we're really going downhill here. But there's still some time. But I'm starting to get a little like, all right, let's lock in right now, man. Let's figure it out.
Yeah, and I will say both Sha'Carri and Coleman or TT, all of them, everybody that trains under Dennis Mitchell, he knows how to get his athletes ready for championship meets, and that's not to be misconstrued with anything. Like, he knows how to get his athletes ready for championship level meets. So as we watch everything unfold, we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to jump the gun, but like we both agreed upon, it's something there, something.
Yeah, like these things will change throughout the year, but like right now, like this is the fact. Like, I can't change the fact that you ran 10-1, man. I feel like that's what happened. Like, I can only go off of what I saw.
Right.
If you're able to, if you're running these 9.8s and 9.7s by USA's, it's like, all right, yeah, man, like you're in a really good position. But right now, at this point of the season, it's like, hey, we gotta. It's not going in the way that I was expecting. But things
right now, Christian Coleman and Jareem Richards ran the same time in the 100 meters yesterday. And we don't look at Jareem Richards as one of the greatest 100-meter runners ever. You don't even really do that. He was just doing it to test the speed. And they ran the same exact time. So that's kind of like the perspective right now, April 27th, 2025. That's kind of where things are at.
Yeah. It's like, you're better than this right now. Like, you're like, I expect you to be at a different level. Like, same with Tebogo. He's going to probably be in the final of that world championship 100. Like, why are you running 10-5 or whatever? Like, that is ridiculous. Like, I know it's early on in the season, but you're better than that. Like, you shouldn't be putting these times down unless like you got some sort of stuff going on. It's like, oh yeah, people don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Yeah, you're right. Like, I have no idea what's going on behind the scenes of that race. Maybe you have stomach poison, maybe you have food poisoning, whatever it is. But you lined up at the end of the day. And so if you're healthy enough to line up, then you're healthy enough for me to talk about it. So I don't know. It's I hope they'll both be fine, I'm sure, but just something to look into earlier on in the season, man. So any other performances, things that kind of stuck out to you here, man?
That's kind of it for me. On the top of my head, like I said,
oh, you're athlete of the week, international athlete of the week.
Hey, man, international athlete of the week goes to none other than Anavia Battle. Man, look, she put together a hell of a season. She could have even won it last week, what she did in the 100, but 22:41 out there in China, beating Shericka Jackson, putting together an undefeated season so far. We will get that certificate. I'm out of town right now, so I got to get back home, print out the certificate, send it out to Miss Anavia Battle. Shout out to her, but she is this week's International Athlete of the Week for sure.
There we go. Shout out, congratulations, Anavia Battle. Big time. That's some good stuff. Well, I guess we don't have to go through the whole gamut of it, but next week we have the second iteration of Grand Slam track that's coming through. So also shout out, they put up, there's a billboard in Philadelphia now with Grand Slam track. So they got that going on. I watch that every once in a while when I'm driving around through the city. So they're getting their presence out there. But anything you're looking forward to with this Grand Slam round 2 coming up?
Absolutely, bro. I'm looking for Gabby in that short sprint series, bro. I really want to see Gabby in the short sprint series. And I'm also excited to see Tia Jones come again for the hurdles, see how she can compete with Masai and a couple other athletes. I'm a big 100 hurdle guy, so I'm excited for those two for sure. What about yourself?
Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to those similar things. Like I would say Kenny Bednarik, I want to see him continue his just dominating season that he's had. I've always been a big fan of his and what he does over there. So I'd say him probably. I like Melissa Jefferson as well. So want to see how she's able to what she's able to do. So those two are probably like some of my favorite people coming through. Interested in Anna Hall too. I've been following her since her Florida days. So excited for her hurdles as she kind of gets ready. Now, obviously, she's not gonna be in the best. She's not gonna beat Sydney, but I still like to see her compete. So it'll be good.
Is she doing 404 hurdles?
Yeah, I think she's doing long hurdles. So yeah, I think so. Which I want this to be the last time that Sydney McLaughlin, which it is, she's running the long hurdle combo. Like I mean, hopefully Shamir Little is running here. Because she got injured, I guess, or pulled out of the race last time. But that was really the only kind of competition that she would have had, and she wasn't there. So yeah, because so she can put up a good 400 hurdles, but is she Sydney McLaughlin? No, but that's the only person that's gonna be really even in the same stratosphere as her. So hopefully that'll be all right, and then we're gonna be able to see her in some like the short hurdles, and she's doing the long sprints as well. I think in the last two slams, so that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Cool, man. Well, another episode, Track World News Podcast. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Been a great episode. Have a good one. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. See you later. Peace.